Hello everyone, welcome back to another Craftspiration Collaboration. Today we are going to be making this project. So if you would like to make it, let's get crafting. Grab your glue, some 110-pound cardstock. I'm going to share with you everything that I used to make this as well. So if you would like to watch and then go back and get some of the supplies yourself, you can do that. So have a happy crafty day and let's get into it. And don't forget that this collaboration, this Craftspiration collaboration, is with my fabulous and wonderful sweet friend, Leslie Pico of Mermaid Cove Studios. All links will be below in the description box. And thank you again to my new subscribers and for being here today. I hope you will consider subscribing if you're not, and enjoy. Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my channel today. This is Denise and I am Treasures of a Crafty Mind, and today is Craftspiration Collaboration Day. Woohoo! So let's get into some fun crafting. So today I have an idea for a flex pocket, and I have decided that I thought it would be kind of fun to make a flex pocket purse. Okay, and so I have all of my pieces cut out. I'm going to be using this die set for my layering pieces, and this die here. You can find Scrap Diva has a whole die set for making straps for handbags, for paper bags. So I have all of my pieces cut. I have the directions I'm going to share with you. And so the idea is that it's basically a folio, like a pocket folio, but it's going to open like a purse, like a coupon. Remember the old-fashioned coupon books was kind of the inspiration behind it. And I've been seeing a lot of flex pocket projects, and this came to mind. So thank you to all of you who have been doing those projects. You have inspired me to make one. And so here's this die set here, the KF's Crafts Lacy Slimline set. The cardstock that I have used to make the base of the box is this Harmony Hues. And you get 60 sheets. You get multicolors, and it is 300 GSM. Therefore, it is a 110-pound cardstock paper collection. So you get a whole rainbow just about. And then I am using this Crafter's Companion paper pad. And this one is, I think, just seasonal, but you can see, I mean, it would work for birthday, it would work for spring, it would work for summer. What is the name of this collection? Wow, I am not seeing that. I got it recently for the Black Friday sale. All Occasions, Patterns, and Sentiments. There it is right there in front of my face. 13 beautiful designs. And it is fantastic. 180 GSM. So I'm trying to learn my GSMs. I want to say that's 90 weight. It's got to be 90 because it does not feel like 65 pounds. So if you would like to follow along and make this project, you will need a 12 by 12 110-pound cardstock paper, or well, cardstock for the base, and you are going to cut that, and let me get the measurements for that right now. Okay, so get your 110-pound cardstock. And the one thing I like about this Harmony Hues is it does not have a white core. So for quick crafting, quick folios, I am loving this cardstock. So I neglected to write down the measurements for the base. We have 12 inches by 8 and 7/8. Okay, there is our base, 12 inches by 8 and 7/8 inches. Okay, and then let's get this over here, and let me get the measurements written down. Okay, so what you're going to do is cut your 12 inches by 8 and 7/8 inch base. Get your scoreboard, and let's get in closer. Okay, and on one 12-inch side, we only score one side, you guys. We are going to score at 3 and 7/8, 4 and 7/8. You're going to come over to the 8 3/4 mark, score 8 3/4, and then you're going to pop over and score at 9 3/4, or you can score at 9 7/8 if you want just a little bit more room, because that is the side that becomes the cover, and you may want an extra 1/8 of an inch just for clearance if you put magnets. Okay, and so let me come back out, and that's what it's going to look like when you score all of your fold and burnish all of your score marks. Now for the flex pockets, you're going to, whoops, wrong side, you're going to cut 5 8 3/4 by 7 1/4 and fold in half, or you can score at the 3 5/8 inch mark, and that's your half mark. Okay, and so you've got 7 1/4 by 8 3/4. So if you cut your 8 3/4 first, then cut your 7 1/4, it's already set up for you to do your score line, and then you fold it in half. Okay, so here are my pockets. 1 2 3 4 5 pockets, and now let's get our wet glue. All right, figure out, if you're using double sided cardstock, figure out which side you want to use, and whoops, get a non-wobbly hand going, and do glue on both sides. You can be pretty liberal with this one because these are long pockets. Okay, and glue each side really, really good. Okay, and it's a good idea to use a bone folder or a tool you like to use for creasing and folding your papers. So go ahead and do this to all 5 of your pockets. Okay, last one. Okay, and then if you want to do a thumb notch, you can. Totally up to you. At this point, you can almost just do what you want and make the pages your own. You could round the corners if you want to. Okay, and so make sure you have all of your pockets with the opening up. Okay. There we go. And now we're going to start gluing these together. So right in the middle. Start lining these up to glue together. And just right down the center. Okay. Now the next one. Make sure you've got that pocket side up. And this is basic. We're talking beginner friendly. Everybody can make this. There we go. All right. And now this last one here. There we go. And just think, you can put quite a lot in these. Okay. Clean up your glue. Make sure your pockets are not going to stick together. Okay. Like so. See? How cool is that? And now let's get our base. Okay. And we are going to glue it. Open it up. You see the flap is up. We're going to glue it to this part here. All right. Same as we did the other pages, just right in the center, like so. And line it up. Okay. It almost fits perfectly inside. And now we're going to glue the center and glue it to the other flap. Line it up like so. And just kind of push it in, okay? And give it a moment to adhere. And you could even clip it for a little bit. Okay. And then open it up, fold it over, and get your bone folder and get in there. Like so. Like that. All right, and there we go. That's how it's going to look from the side there. And there's going to be lots of room. You could even add more pockets. That's totally up to you. I went with 5. You probably could do 6, 7, maybe even 8 pockets. But this way you can load it up. And now all we have to do is decorate it and decide how we want to close it. Okay, so I have all of my pieces. And it's however you want to decorate it, but I thought that those that this die set fit really well. This is what I use to size the folio with, okay, or the purse box. But you don't need any dies to do any layering because it's straight lines. So super easy. I'm going to put mine on and let's see what I can come up with. Okay, I'm going to put the plaid on the back. And there we go. Oh, it's hard to line it up when I'm trying to look. I don't know why I'm trying to look through the camera. Okay, there we go. All right. And now let's do this side here. I've got this one I'm going to do on the I guess you would call it the front of the bag, huh? I'm not even going to try to glue all those little scallop pieces down because that's just going to make a big old mess. There we go. All right. And then for the flap, I used this narrow piece here, cut it twice. And the idea is to overlap the pieces for the front. Let's see, how did I want to do that? I had that all worked out. Let me get it done. Okay, we're going to do this side. And it's going to match up perfectly and you won't even be able to see where they connect. Okay, I'm going to glue the one piece on first. Okay, and now let's layer up the other one. Okay, and then we are going to embellish over that. Okay, let me get these out of the way. Okay, so there we go. Here's how the bag's going to look. Here's the other side. Oops. Okay, we will get that glued down, no big deal. And then here is the inside, ready to go. Lots of room for goodies. And it's up to you if you want to also do the inside. I'm not going to do that, but I do have my 3/4 by, oh my gosh, that's 8 5/8, I believe, pieces. And so I'm going to get those glued down. Okay, and then I also have one for the bottom, and I'm using the plaid side for that. But this project does come together really quickly. And now we just have to decide on a closure for it. So if you want to use magnets, or if you want to use like a parcel envelope closure, that's a good idea. So now I just have to figure out how I want to close it and come back and do that. Okay, and now what I did was for the strap piece, I just folded it over about maybe 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch, depending on what you want. I'm good with that. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's a lot of glue. And just kind of center that best you can. And there we go for the strap, like so. All right. And it reminds me of the KF's Crafts purse bag box that they have, but we just made one ourselves. And so if you want to round the corners, don't forget that's something you can do as well. And that looks really cute. I like it. There we go. And now we need a closure. We could use Velcro, and the only reason why I'm leaning towards Velcro is because I have a whole bunch of it, but it does not stick very good at all. So I go ahead and glue mine together, or apply them together. This is, everybody pretty much does this now, I believe. And we just need to cut that. And you're going to need one for each side. And these are old, so I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. Ah! Shame. Okay. All right, and now let's get another one. I can't believe how long I've had these things. Oh my gosh, since I started crafting. I have a smaller size too. Don't know where they are. They're here somewhere. Not sure where at all. And I want the less sticky side on top. Okay, good. I have it there. Okay. Now let's put the other side, and then we just have to wait for it to dry for a bit. Okay, I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, and now the same to the other side. Line up your piece, your flap to the inside, just like that. Get that all tucked in and squeeze. Just and see it just like that. Squeeze. All right. And now let's just let everybody get all nice and stuck before we come back and mess with it. Also, make a note, you might want to come in and measure each side because I'm pretty sure it's not even, but it's for a swap or happy mail or whatever you want it to be, and it's just for fun. And handmade is always better, no matter how perfect or imperfect it is. It comes from the heart, and that's the best. Since this is a spring or Easter or even St. Patty's Day, it's going to work because of the papers. I have these stickers that I received from a crafty friend, and I have these two fabulous bunny rosettes that I thought would be really cute to use. And so let's get one here, and you know what? Let's use our hot glue gun. Okay, so how cool, my friend here, she already has a sticker on the back. So we can just pop that on over that spot like so. How cute is that? And then I really almost just like that right there by itself. Let's see. Let's use these stickers. We get these stickers from our friends. We have to use them, right? Okay. Let's do that there, like so. And how about this fun green one here? Let's do that. Like so. And how about one of these dragonflies? Okay, let's put, how cute. And then it would be really cute to do some kind of a sentiment or something here, I think. Okay, so I went through my favorite sentiments, the all-in-one, which Scrap Diva even has an all-in-one stamp and die set where you stamp out a whole bunch of sentiments, and then it's got the die to cut them all out, and then you have them ready to go. Let's chunk this one up and put it here. The "You Look Younger Than Ever" happy birthday. What I want to do is use some leftover chipboard, and so I'm going to cut. There we go. And now I'm going to cut a bunch of pieces that are going to fit inside and chunk it up for us. Got my longer scissors so I'm not here all day cutting. We need 3 or 4. I like 3. That's about the width of 3-dimensional tape. And get your glue. It's a good idea to check and make sure that they're all going to fit inside. You don't want any of the chipboard showing over. I think that'll be fine. And then we glue them together. So it's a good way to use up cereal weight chipboard, your cereal boxes, other packaging that's chipboard. You can always use those for recycling into adding dimension to your embellishments. Craft Purge recently over the holidays. I believe it was Halloween. How her embellishments, the swaps over the years that the double-sided tape deteriorates. I just dropped it. So this is, I think, is a really good alternative because the glue will definitely last longer than the dimensional tape. There we go. And then you can ink up the edges if you want. I think I will a little bit. Let's see how it looks. Okay. Now we glue that. Oh, I'm making a mess. And let's just pop that there. I like it. How cute. And now all we have to do is load up the inside with some fabulous goodies. Okay, so here we go. Here is our cute little flex pocket folio purse. And you can embellish the back if you want to. You can do pretty much anything you want to. Let's open this up. Let's see, the Velcro should be glued good by now. And yes, you will bend the crud out of your project doing Velcro. That's the only thing about Velcro. If it's good, strong Velcro, it can bend your project. And there we go. Here's the inside all the way open. So you can do dies. Let's see. Whoops. Everything's flying out. Let's see what we can fit in here. That's going to be too long. But if you broke down dies, gosh, let's find some goodies to put in it.